cutest little children. Hello, hello, hello. Am I audible? Just let me check. No, I'm not. Am I the only one who is not able to see? Okay. Okay, I think now I'm audible. There was some issue. This could be a glitch with the network out there. Hello, my dear children. How are you? How is the Josh? How was the day? Is everything going on really good? Are you guys happy? And I'm so sorry, as I said, I was somehow not able to see you guys. Let me just text it in the group also. By the way, if any one of you have not enrolled, okay, into WhatsApp channel, make sure you do that, because there is where you are going to get all the updates. Okay, cool. So my dear children, we were talking about the chapter, we were dealing with the chapter that is Human Reproduction, and this chapter is coming for your FA1 examination. And before I go ahead with any of it, one thing that I want to know is, how many of you have their FA1 which is going to be starting in the month of August, and if in August, from which date you have your FA1 getting started? Please let us know, so that we can also help you with the preparation for your FA1, and then definitely, obviously, if at all we are of help, it will be really good, right? We will be happy and you will also be really happy. Cool. So those of you watching this video, do you mind saying a hi, hello, something like that? Or let me just go with the topic directly, and you will probably talk to me after some point. Okay, I think I should be going ahead and you will be talking to me after some point. So are you ready, bacha? Because today we're going to solve all the questions that have come over here in KCET the previous year. Ma'am, chemistry classes in YouTube. Soon there will be chemistry classes, dear. As of now, it's not started. I know that's a problem, but getting it sorted. Cool. So the first question that we have over here is, pick the hormone which is not secreted by human placenta. Anyone knows the answer for this question? This came in 2016. So we are going to see from the oldest to the newest questions that have come. Okay, and here goes the question. Pick the hormone which is not secreted by human placenta. The first one is HCG, the second one is HPL, the third one is prolactin, and the fourth one is estrogen. Which one is not released by placenta? That is the question. So if we have studied really well, we already know the answer for this. The answer would be what? Baba, placenta which is there is responsible for release of 4 hormones. 4 very important hormones. The first one is going to be HCG, the second one is going to be HPL, the third one is going to be estrogen, and the fourth one is going to be progesterone. It's going to be progesterone. So we have 4 hormones in total. Initially we believed that these 2 hormones were released by ovary. Yes, it was. But when placenta came into picture, it took up that job and said that, Macha, you take some rest, I will be releasing it for you. So you not have to be worried. Now, in this list, which one is the odd one out? Which one is there here but not here? Which one is the odd one out? HCG is same over here, human chorionic gonadotropin. HPL is also over here. Estrogen is also over here. Instead of progesterone, you have prolactin over here. Baba, prolactin is a hormone that is definitely going to be increased in many folds inside the female's blood during pregnancy, but it's not a hormone secreted by the placenta. It's a hormone which is released with the help of pituitary gland. Okay, pituitary glands help in the release of prolactin, and prolactin is important in basically the process of lactation. The mother is going to breastfeed the child with milk, right? So for that milk formation, prolactin is super important. So in that case, what is the answer for this question, Baba? It is going to be C. Every one of you, will you remember that placenta releases 4 hormones? Both of them starts with H and the other 2 is going to start with E and P. HEP, HEP. Okay, it's going to be HEP. So please remember it, very important. Cool. Can I go ahead with the next question? Understanding it? Not understanding it? Any doubts up there? Okay, I think I shall go ahead with the next question. Slowly you will start talking to me. The next question goes like this. This came in 2016 again. So, choose the correct sequence of events occurring in the human reproduction. That is the question. Over here, the events are given and you have to choose which one is the correct set of events. Okay, in the correct order. So you only think, every one of you, just think, what is the first thing that you will need in sexual reproduction? We need gametes to be formed. The sperm and the ovum should be there. Then only these two guys can come together and do the process of fertilization, right? So the first process is going to be formation of gamete. Can I have a different name for it? Can I call it by a different name? Yes, ma'am. It is also known as gametogenesis. Okay, gametogenesis. Genesis means formation and gameto means gamete over here. So in every step of these, do you see gametogenesis as the first thing? In this one I see it's the first thing. Okay, what about the next one? Here also I see this is gametogenesis, this is also gametogenesis, this is gestation. So probably I can cancel it out for some time. It can get eliminated for some time. Let's see the next option that is there. After gametogenesis, after formation of gametes, what is the requirement in sexual reproduction? That these gametes are transferred. Right? How does that happen? Always understand, in the case of gametes, the male one, sperm, is motile. It can move around. What about the ovum? Can it move around? No, Baba. It stays at only one location. It cannot move around. It will be able to move around only if, suppose, there is some ciliated epithelial cells over here. Okay? And suppose the ovum is right over here. When this particular cilia, they move, what happens? The egg or the ovum rolls over it. It's not because the ovum can do it by itself. It's because someone else is helping in that. So in that case, when you know that ovum is not going to move, and when you know that sperm is something which is motile, you have an understanding that we have to transfer the sperm from the male and we have to go to the female body. This process of transfer of sperm inside the female body using the male external genital organ, which is known as the penis, this process is known as what? Insemination. That means inside the body you are putting the semen. Semen means sperm plus all the other fluids which are going to be required for its nourishment and things like that. Okay, so after gametogenesis, after the gamete has been formed, you need to transfer it. That process is known as insemination. Over here in the first one we see it is known as gestation. So obviously this also get eliminated. What are we left with? We are left with these two options: insemination, insemination. Okay, the semen is being transferred. Now what? The sperm is being transferred inside the female body. Now what? They have to fuse. They have to come together. This process of fusion is known as what, Baba? It is known as fertilization. Okay, you will call this as fertilization. So over here, if at all you see, here it's gestation and here it's fertilization. So can I cancel this option also? Yes, ma'am, you can cancel. The answer for this question is going to be this. But let's complete it once. So gametes are being formed, it is being transferred, they have come together, fertilization has also taken place. Now what? After fertilization, what do you get? You get the zygote. And zygote is a chunnu cell. It's a small single cell thing that is there. This chunnu cell which is there will divide into two. Okay, now it's not single cell anymore, it is multicellular. 2 will become 4. Okay, the 4 becomes 8. The cell keeps on dividing. What are you getting now? It's the embryo. And when the embryo is being formed, it will come down. It will roll down from the oviduct. So the oviduct is a place where the fusion and everything was happening, where the zygote was being formed. Okay, now the zygote which is there, it will develop into the embryo. In the oviduct itself, slowly it moves down into the uterus. And it gets embedded. It says like, Macha endometrium, please have me. Okay, please have me embedded. I want some nutrition. Can you provide me some nutrition? This process of embedding of the embryo into the endometrium, into the lining of the uterus, is known as implantation. That is going to be the next process, which provides it nourishment and things like that. After that, what happens? This embryo which got implanted, it is going to stay up there. Okay, it is going to stay up there and it is going to develop into what? Develop into a chutku fetus out there. This process, this entire process of formation of the fetus from the embryo is known as what? Gestation. In the case of human beings, how much months are required for this? Any idea for those of you who are watching this? Can you tell me how many months are required for the process of gestation in the case of human beings? Come on. Any idea? No idea? No one knows? Ayyo, it's 9 months, no? For 9 months, the female would be carrying the baby. So that period where the development is ongoing, what do you call this as? This period is known as what? Gestation, Baba. And after gestation, what is going to happen? After the baby is going to be developed, it is going to move outside the body. What do you call that as? That process is known as parturition. That is known as parturition, expulsion of the baby outside, or the expulsion of the fully developed fetus outside the female body is known as parturition. So first gametogenesis, gamete formation, then transfer, insemination, then fusion, fertilization, then basically division, and finally you get the embryo which implants into the endometrium, that is known as implantation. It develops further there, and finally complete development is known as gestation, that entire period it requires to develop, and finally when it is totally developed, it moves out of the body. That process is known as parturition. And which is why the answer for this question is going to be C. It is going to be C. So the reason I came up with a PYQ lecture today after completing whole of human reproduction, by the way, for those of you who have missed, we have completed sexual reproduction flowering plants, we have completed human reproduction also. Right now I'm solving the questions of that. And by any chance, if you have missed any of those videos, go watch it. I am doing one-shot videos as well, which could be helpful for your FA1. There is one-shot that I have done on sexual reproduction in flowering plants, where I have covered the most important questions of KCET and also the second PUC questions. If you have not watched that one-shot, go watch it. It's there in the channel. Okay, and I'm doing this for you guys, so if at all you do not tell me the answer, it is going to be a very boring lecture. So I request you guys to do your participation, give me your answers over here, and it will be a fun class. Okay, so the next question you have to answer. Okay, you at least try to answer. Let's see whether it's right or wrong. Anyway, trying is very important. So the next question that we have over here is asking, which one of these is not an accessory gland in the male reproductive system? Which one is not an accessory gland? In what? In the male reproductive system. So what do you have? Prostate gland, Cowper's gland, seminal vesicle, Bartholin's gland. What do you think is the answer for this question? Which one is not an accessory gland in the male reproductive system? Come on. You have 4 options. I'll give you a clue if that works. Cowper's gland, which is there, it is also known as bulbourethral. It is also known as bulbourethral gland. Now probably you can try the answer. In the male reproductive system, you have 3 glands, no Baba? 3 glands are there. One is going to be what? Seminal vesicle. The second one is going to be what? Prostate gland. The third one is going to be what? The bulbourethral gland or the Cowper's gland. So in that case, who is the odd one out? Bartholin's gland. Ma'am, this is not there in our NCERT, and obviously this has to be the odd one out. Yes, Baba. Bartholin gland is there in the female reproductive system. Near the vaginal opening, there is Bartholin glands for lubrication. That's a whole different thing. So this guy is the odd one out. But it's still, the questions still have not been removed. Why? Because the other 3 options is there somewhere in your NCERT, and you probably can figure out the answer with the help of that. Right? So the answer for this question is going to be D. For those of you still not understand, listen to me very carefully. This gland that you see, a paired gland that you see, this is going to be your seminal vesicle. The first gland out there. Please remember, it is going to be paired. By paired, what I mean? I have one over here, one over here. That is what I mean by paired. What does it release? It releases something that is super important. It's known as fructose. Why do we need fructose? For energy. We need fructose for what? We need fructose for energy to the sperm. Cool. The next thing that we have over here is going to be the prostate gland. Ma'am, is this paired? This gland is not going to be paired, even though it looks like a paired gland, but actually it's a donut-shaped gland. It looks like a donut through which the urethra and everything passes through. So it's unpaired gland out there. What does it do? What does it release, Baba? It releases two things, two very important things, calcium as well as enzymes. Both of it is super important for the process of fertilization to happen. For the process of fertilization to happen, you need calcium as well as enzymes. Okay, and this, remember, this is an unpaired gland that you have over here. Cool. Done. And then the last one that you have is this small chutku bulb like glands. No, this is known as the bulbourethral gland. It's known as the bulbourethral gland. It is also known as the Cowper's gland. What is the use of this? They secrete certain things which is helping in the lubrication of the penis. It helps in lubrication of the penis such that the sperms can easily move through out there. These three secretions together, what do I call it? I call this as the seminal plasma. Okay, I call this as the seminal plasma, and it's super important for me to know about it. Seminal plasma plus the sperms together. So these were the secretion, and they are giving all the secretion to the sperm such that the sperm is very energetic, such that the sperm can do fertilization and everything. Together, all of it, what do you call this as? This is known as semen. This together is known as semen. Got it? So anyway, I had spoken about all of it. The reason being that I wanted to explain you the entire concept so that any question that comes from the concept, you will be able to solve it. Now, I hope you know the answer. The odd one out is going to be what? Bartholin's gland. Cool? Now, we're going ahead with the next question out there, guys. Now, from this question onwards, you have to try. It cannot be like I am only asking the question and you are, I am only answering the question also. Okay, that's not fair, right? So, you guys have to try. Come on, try this question. Question number 4. Which one of the following characters favors the process of normal spermatogenesis in human male? Which one of the following characters helps in the process of normal spermatogenesis in a human male? First one, descent of testis into the scrotum. What do you mean by that? Movement of testis into the scrotum. Does that help? Second one, testis remain in the abdominal cavity. Testis, if it remains in the abdominal cavity, does it help? Third one, infection by mumps virus during childhood. If at all someone is getting infected by mumps virus during childhood, does it help in spermatogenesis? The last one, increased scrotal temperature. If at all we increase the temperature in the scrotum, the sac in which the testis is there, does it help in spermatogenesis? You have to tell me which one of these help in the process of spermatogenesis in the case of human male. Come on, try it out. Children, try it out, Macha. What are you worried about? That I will judge you by any chance? That if you give wrong answer, oh my God, everyone will get to know. These people or me are not going to write the examination. Okay, and I'm telling you, there is no point of judging. If you're giving a wrong answer, it's okay. I'll probably correct you. That's the maximum I can do. Right? I'll correct you and you will remember it even better. So do not think that, okay, I'm giving a wrong answer, that gives a wrong impression. A ma'am remembers a name. That has never been the case. I'm your friend. Please treat me as a friend and give me the answer for this question. Anyone? Come on. Try it out. That's sad. Okay then, I'll only tell the answer and this lecture will go boring. In that case, let's go ahead. So the answer for this question is going to be descent of testis into the scrotum. This is going to help in what? The process of normal spermatogenesis. If at all you ask why, I'll tell you. So listen. The testis is inside the male body. Generally, when the baby is born, the testis is within the male body. It moves down into the scrotum, the reason being that our body has high temperature, and for the process of spermatogenesis to happen, for the formation of sperm to happen, you need almost 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal body temperature. So our body temperature is too high and spermatogenesis cannot happen at that temperature. It needs how much? 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than normal body temperature, which is why the testes have to move down into the scrotum. And that is the exact point. Spermatogenesis happens only if descent of testis happens into the scrotum. Descent means movement of testis into the scrotum. So this is the point. Testes remain in the abdominal cavity. Does that help? No, Baba. Then the temperature is going to be high. That does not help in any ways. Infection by mumps virus, any sort of infection is not good for your body. How can you expect this is going to be good? The next one is increased scrotal temperature. If your temperature in the scrotum is high, do you expect it to be good? Obviously no. Obviously no. Again, if the temperature is high, that means that's a problem. It cannot help in any ways. So wrong. The only answer for this question is going to be A. Cool? Cool, ma'am. Fine. The next question that we have is accessory ducts or reproductive system of human female include. So what are the accessory ducts that are involved in the human female reproductive system? That is the question. Which all things are there in the ducts? Ducts means what? They are the ones that helps in the transport of the, the gametes out there. This is the pathway for the movement of the gamete. So we have oviduct, uterus and the vagina. We have oviduct, ovaries and the ovarian ligament. We have oviduct, ovaries and the mammary gland. We have ovaries, uterus and the vagina. What do you think is the answer for this question? You have been asked about what? The accessory ducts of the reproductive system. That is the question. Any guesses? Any guesses? What is the answer for this question? Listen, again, we can eliminate a lot of things over here. Listen to me. Ovaries are basically there for what? For production of gametes. Are they there for anything else? No, they are there for production of gametes. They're not responsible for the transport of gametes out there. So wherever I see ovaries, I can just cancel out these options. That's the easiest way. Or if not, if that is also confusing for me, ovarian ligament is always there for attachment of something. How do you think it is important in the transfer of something? So obviously this cannot be the case. Mammary glands is for lactation, for giving the milk to the baby. Obviously that is also not important over here. Right? And again, here we do not have any option. You should know that ovary is a place where the ovum is made. It's not for transport. So we are left with one option, that is this A, oviduct, uterus and the vagina. Are they the part of the duct? Obviously yes. So if at all you see this particular picture, this is going to be the oviduct, the fallopian tube, through which the egg which is collected from here is going to travel through. Further, what do we have? This is the uterus that we have. And the uterus opens further into what? The vagina. This is the pathway that we have for the transport of the gametes out there, which is why the answer for this question is going to be A. This is 2017 question. Cool? Done? Deal? Now, there's another question that we have, question number 6, again from 2017. In human females, the number of primary follicles left in each ovary at puberty is how much? Come on guys, guess it out. In human females, the number of primary follicles left in each ovary at puberty is 3,000 to 30,000, 30,000 to 60,000, 60,000 to 80,000 or 1,50,000 to 1,60,000. What do you think is the answer for this particular question? The number of primary follicles left in each ovary at puberty is what? Guesses? No guesses? One guess? Okay, anyways. So the answer for this question, you're talking about the primary follicles. Listen, when we are born, at that time itself we are born with so many primary follicles out there. Okay, and inside the primary follicles, you have the primary oocyte which are stuck in meiotic stages. Okay, they are not going forward and dividing. They are stuck in meiosis 1 itself, in the prophase 1 of meiosis. And they stay like that. For how long? Until we hit puberty. When we hit puberty, a lot of them basically mature and go ahead. The question is, by the time we hit puberty, how many of them are left behind? Because a lot of them would be degenerated by then. Only a few will be left in each of the ovaries. We start with millions of them, but we end with only few. It is actually 60,000 to 80,000 in each of the ovaries. It's not like both the ovaries combined together. Please understand, in this ovary it will be 60,000 to 80,000. Similarly, in this also you would be having 60,000 to 80,000. Got it? Works? Very, very, very important. we go ahead with the next question that is there, and I hope you guys are understanding. Yeah, question number 7 that we have, implantation is influenced by. Implantation is influenced by FSH, progesterone, LH or relaxin. What do you mean by implantation? I told you that over here when you assume that uterus is there and when we have the endometrium inside, the embryo comes and get implanted over here. This process of implantation is influenced by what? FSH, progesterone, LH or relaxin. What do you think is the answer for this? Any idea? No idea? Guys, those of you watching this video, are we not gonna try? Are we just gonna listen? Okay, this is the answer, this is the question. Is that how we're gonna appear for KCET examination? No children, we have to try. Come on, try it out. Implantation is influenced by which hormone? FSH is follicle stimulating hormone. We require it for the development of follicles. That is a whole different thing. Implantation in that would not require that. Progesterone is a hormone that is okay, but before I go ahead with any of this thing, in implantation, what is the most important thing that you should be having? The endometrium. Endometrium should be very, very thick. No, otherwise do you think implantation can happen smoothly? No, Baba. Endometrium has to be there and it has to be very, very thick. Now from these 4 hormones, which is that hormone which helps in the formation of the endometrium, which helps in thickening of the endometrium? Think like that. FSH? No, it's follicle stimulating hormone. It helps in developing the follicles. It is progesterone. Is that progesterone? Progesterone basically, yes, it helps in the development of endometrium. We know that. We have seen that. In which phase? In luteal phase or secretory phase of menstrual cycle. That yes, progesterone, whenever it is there, it helps in the thickening of the endometrium. What about LH? Luteinizing hormone helps in ovulation. Again, not for this. Relaxin. Relaxin is produced during the later phase of pregnancy by ovary. Why? Such that the ligaments are loosed up and the baby can easily move out of the body. That's a use. But there's only one hormone that is going to help with the endometrium, and that is going to be progesterone. So which is why the answer for this question is going to be what? B. It is going to be B. Implantation is influenced by progesterone. Done? Cool? Works? Okay. Fine then, the next question that we have is the inner cell mass of blastocyst becomes what? The inner cell mass of blastocyst. What is blastocyst over here? So always understand, you have got the zygote. The zygote is a single cell. Now as and when the zygote divides, okay, it divides into 2 cells, then 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8. I told you that's how the embryo is being formed. When the zygote, which is a single cell, it divides. From that moment itself, I'll not call it a zygote anymore. I'll rather call this as an embryo. And in an embryo, there comes a stage. Okay, there comes a stage where it looks like this. There are outer cells over here. Okay, which you call as what? You call them as trophoblast. You call this as trophoblast. And inside that, you have certain cells like this. What do you call it? You call this as the inner cell mass. You call this as the inner cell mass. So you have trophoblast and you have the inner cell mass. This whole thing is basically a stage of embryo which you call as what? The blastocyst stage. What do you call this as? The blastocyst stage. Right? Over here, the inner cell mass which is there, it later on forms or develops into the actual embryo. So ma'am, you call this an embryo, now you're saying this is the one that forms the embryo. What do you mean by that? So listen, this stage, in this particular stage, in blastocyst stage, it goes and embeds into the endometrium. While it gets embedded into the endometrium, the outer layer that you see over here helps in the formation of the next thing which is there, that is known as placenta. It helps in the formation of something else that is known as placenta, which is super important for pregnancy to happen. Endometrium is there, that can nourished, but as and when the embryo is going to grow, you need some other support, and that is being offered by placenta. Who helps in the formation of placenta? From the embryo side, it is going to be the trophoblast layer. So in that case, if this guy is helping in the formation of placenta, what is this guy doing? This is the one that actually transforms into the embryo, later on develops into the fetus. So which is why I can say the inner cell mass of the blastocyst become extraembryonic membrane. Wrong. Okay, differentiated into embryo proper. What do you mean by that? That means they mature, the cells, they develop into the actual embryo. Yes. Chorionic villi is basically the trophoblast which is there, that helps in the formation of chorionic villi. The chorionic villi as well as the tissues from the mother's end together forms the placenta. As I told you, it helps in the formation of placenta. So by that I mean it helps in the formation of chorionic villi from its end. Now the placenta directly, again, no. What is the answer for this? It is going to be the inner cell mass. Inner cell mass is going to differentiate into what? The embryo proper. That is the answer for this particular question. Very important question, a tricky one also. Sometimes children do not pay too much attention to this detail and might miss out on this, but I hope you guys know the answer now. Works? Cool? Can we go ahead with the next question? So over here we have the next question, and that is this. The process of conversion of the non-motile spermatids into motile spermatozoa is called what? The process of conversion of non-motile spermatids into motile spermatozoa. So spermatids which are being formed at the end of spermatogenesis, okay, they are circular, they are globular in shape. Now, is the sperm looking like this in general? No, Baba. The sperm has to be motile, and basically for that, it needs to form a figure something like this, almost similar to this. You get it? This is known as spermatid, and this is known as spermatozoa. Okay, spermatid and spermatozoa. For this to happen, this process of conversion of the non-motile or the immature spermatid to mature spermatozoa is known as what? It is known as spermiogenesis. Okay, I want to become me, Macha. I want to become me. I want to become the actual sperm. You think like that. So it is known as spermiogenesis. Okay, and how do you remember which one comes first? Was it spermatozoa first, then transform into spermatid, or this way? Listen to me. Spermatid ends with a TID. It looks like kid. Okay, spermatid is a kid. It matures to spermatozoa. That's all. That's how we can remember things. Okay, and this process is known as spermiogenesis. So for the 9th question, the answer for that will be what? A. Works? Does it help? Understood? Can we go ahead with the next question? Shall we? Let's go. So over here, the next question is there regarding the mammary gland. Several mammary ducts join to form a wider structure called as what? Lactiferous duct, mammary lobes, ampulla, or tubules. The question is, when the ducts they come together, what do they form? So over here, I always tell you this particular trick. If it's of use for someone, please do remember it. Dal fell on mat. Dal fell on mat. So I'm just writing mat first. Okay. Cool. Okay. So the first one that we have is M. M stands for what? The mammary lobe. M stands for what? The mammary lobe. Inside each lobe, Baba, what do you have? Inside each lobe, you have plenty of alveoli. So alveoli basically looks like this, inside which you have the milk. Inside the cavity of it, you have the milk. Now, alveoli opens into what? This particular thing. What is this? This is going to be tubule. Alveoli opens into tubules. So alveoli will be having small tubules being like that. Now the tubules which are there, they join together to form ducts, mammary ducts. And the ducts open into what? The ampulla. It opens into ampulla. And the L stands for ampulla opens into what? Lactiferous ducts. It opens into lactiferous ducts. So the answer for this question is going to be what? It is going to be, okay, Sohail is there. Sohail says the answer for this question is going to be C, and Sohail says something else also. I'll read to it. It is known as ampulla. So ducts open into ampulla? Yes. So the answer for this question is this. Your smile should be illegal. It's way too distracting. Thank you. But I hope you're not getting distracted in the class though. Anyways, that's so sweet of you. Okay, so ampulla is there. Remember that. Do not get confused. If you remember this trick, it might help. If you have a confusion that, ma'am, A is here, how do I remember it? So ampulla ends with a la, and next thing that comes up is lactiferous duct. So yes, cool, works. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead with question number 11, and it's like this. The signals for parturition process originate from what? The signal for parturition, as in, what do you mean by parturition? Parturition means expulsion of the baby outside the body of the female once it is fully developed, okay? So, the signals for this particular process originates from where? Who gives the information that, hey, now it's time to go out? Muscles of the uterus gives that information, fully developed fetus and the placenta, just the placenta, or the hormones of the ovaries and the uterus? What do you think is the answer for this question? Come on, Sohail, let's go. And anyone who is probably watching this video, come on, try it out. No? So listen to me very carefully. If this is the uterus, the baby is right over here, the fully developed fetus, initially, okay, and it is attached to what? The placenta. When the baby is fully being formed, it tries to, because of some mild contraction, mild uterine contractions, okay, that happens because of both of them, the placenta and the fully developed fetus. What is going to happen? They are going to try to come out. They're going to try to move out. While they do, you know, in the cervical region, there are going to be some stretch receptors which become active. These stretch receptors are going to give the signal to the brain that, hey, macha, something is happening over here. You have to be ready with a hormone that is known as oxytocin. So it sends a signal to the brain, and brain where? Basically posterior pituitary gland. Posterior pituitary gland. Now this posterior pituitary gland is going to release what? Oxytocin, which is a hormone. So this was a nervous signal. Then we had got oxytocin. The oxytocin come back over here. Okay, they come and act on the muscular layer of the uterus, and that is going to go have further contraction. That is going to lead with further contraction, and that's when the baby and the placenta will be moving out. But where does it originate from? That is the question. So it originates from the fully developed fetus as well as the placenta which is there. Cool. So the answer for this question is going to be B. Done. Let's go. Okay, so I believe that is also done. So there's a picture over here. So this is what I was saying. The baby as well as the placenta, both of them are responsible for the initial, okay, for initial, contraction, okay, mild uterine contraction. When that happens, the stretch receptors get active and the whole process comes up in the loop, and this repeats. Okay, Shanta Mallikarjun, hi ma'am, any update regarding Vedantu Karnataka? So my dear child, as I asked, and I had got an update over here. So there is a pause for now. Please, for some time, do not look forward for something in that particular channel for now, because it has been paused for some internal reasons out there. Okay, I'll request you to, if you were someone who was associating with some teacher and who you were studying from there, I'll request you to please move forward, and if you can find someone else who could help, or provide or probably the previous year lectures that are there, if you really want that teacher itself to teach you, in that case you can look for the previous year lectures which are there. Okay, Shanta, so this is the update I have got, and yes, I'm letting you know. Yes, you can watch the previous year lectures of Vaishnavi Ma'am dear, because as I said, it's on hold and there is no expected date. I do not know, they have not conveyed it, and there is uncertainty regarding it, which is why I'm telling you that please look forward for the next resource which is there, which is the best suitable thing for you. Yes, I hope that helps. Cool. Now the next question that we have is the nourishing cells in the seminiferous tubules are. Okay, ma'am, thank you so much. You're most welcome, dear. So the nourishing cells in the seminiferous tubules are what? Any idea? Inside the seminiferous tubule, who is there for nourishing? If you remember, inside the seminiferous tubule, you had two cells. One was the Sertoli cell, right? And the next one which was there is known as the spermatogonia. Is known as the spermatogonia. These were the two things that we had. Now, the nourishing cells in the seminiferous tubules are going to be what? It is going to be Sertoli cell, because they are the one that is going to nourish the spermatogonia. The spermatogonia later on are going to divide further and form the sperms, which is why they need the nourishment. So I'll say spermatogonial cells would be Sertoli cells is going to be the answer for this particular question. Done? Clear? Yes? Cool. Now, the next question is over here. I have that here. The Sertoli cell is saying that I am Sertoli cell and I nourish the mighty spermatogonia. And here you have the spermatogonia who says that I am the one who is going to divide to form these sperms. For obviously that reason, you would need nourishment, and that is provided by Sertoli cells. And they are also known as nurse cells. They are also known as nurse cells for the same reason. Okay? And here, by the way, there is one more cell. In between the seminiferous tubule, you see lots of space, right? The space is known as interstitial space. What do you call it? Interstitial space. And inside this space, you have interstitial cells. And what do? They basically help in production of the male sex hormones. They help in production of the male sex hormones. So they are super, super, super important. Cool? Works? Yes. Now, going ahead with the next question, that is, if in a normal menstruating woman, menses occurs on 5th of April, what will be the expected date of ovulation? If menses, that means flow of the endometrium, is happening on 5th of April, okay, what will be the expected date of ovulation? That is the question. How can I tell that, ma'am? So listen to me. Every cycle which is there, every cycle which is generally there, it is up there for almost what? 28 to 29 days. 28 to 29 days. So I'm taking the cycle to be like that, 28 to 29 days. Now, the mid of this particular cycle is going to be where ovulation is going to happen. Okay, the mid of it is where ovulation is going to happen. So if at all you want, you can just calculate plus 28. Okay, 5 plus 28, whatever the days is that, the mid of that cycle. So if you say the mid of the cycle over here, could be somewhere around 14th day. So any day near to 14th day would be, what do you say, this thing. So just give me a second. I'll just, okay. 14th day means what? This is 5th. 5 plus 14 becomes what? It becomes 19th of April. It becomes 19th of April. So any day, what do you say, in that particular line, 19th of April, you will be getting the answer for that. Okay, so I know that's clearly a lot of confusion, so I'll just deal with it once more. Listen to me very carefully. You have the menses on the 5th day. The normal cycle which is there is of 28 days. Okay, there will be 28 days over there. In a normal cycle which is of 28 days, what is going to happen? On the 14th day, that is the mid of the cycle, you get ovulation. So over here, if at all I want to calculate on which day the ovulation is going to happen, what I am going to do is that if 5 is a date, I am going to calculate it with 14. I am going to add up 14. It becomes what? 5 plus 14th, it would be 19th of April, where I can expect the ovulation to happen. But is that there as an option? 10th of April is there, 18th is there, 29th is there, 14th is there. So what do you think is the answer for this question? The nearest option that we have is going to be 18th of April. Nearest option to 19th is going to be what? 18th of April, which is why the answer for this question is going to be B. It is going to be B. Got it? Very, very, very important. Cool. Understanding, dear children, do you have doubts? You want to ask me a question? Please ask me. And by the way, I also wanted to tell something very, very important to you. Just give me a quick second. So, over here, if you see, just give me a quick second. This is the live that we are having. And this is the course that is there. So there is a course that we had launched and it's known as Pariksha Veera, and the link for that is actually there below the video that I am doing. So in the description section of this particular video, you will be able to see register for Pariksha Veera. Okay, and when you click that, you will come up to this particular link. What is there in Pariksha Veera? It's a complete course that you have for your KCET preparation, for your second PUC and KCET preparation, and we promise your PUC syllabus along with all the KCET level of questions and everything is going to be done by the month of November, and the classes have officially begun. So if you are someone who have missed it by any single chance, this is a chance for you guys. Make sure you check it out. Okay, this is very, very important, and the classes, as I said, has already begun. The pricing for that is rupees 3,499. If at all you're asking me what all are the other features, you are going to get 500 plus hours of KCET live sessions. Okay, these are live interactive sessions that you have. There will be 20 plus KCET mock test and other tests out there which you can make or take the best utilization of. So make sure you go and check that particular course as well. Very, very, very important. Now I'll come back to this. I'm talking about this. Let's go ahead. So over here, when I go ahead and go with the next question, I have this one: identifying the cells representing PQRS in the given schematic representation of spermatogenesis. So this is spermatogenesis, and you have been given PQRS, and you have to find what is what. You have to find what is what. Okay, so S is there, R is there, Q is there, P is there. Come on, let's go. S which is there, it will be easy if at all we go backwards. So S which is there is going to be known as what? The spermatozoa. It is known as spermatozoa because if at all you see the shape of it, basically all of it is elongated. So this is the mature one, you call this as spermatozoa. What is R over here? It has to be the immature one, so that means it has to be spermatids. Can I find my answer with the help of this? Let's see. R is spermatids. Okay, R is spermatids, wrong. R is spermatids, S is spermatozoa. Yes, this could be the answer. R is spermatozoa, wrong. R is spermatozoa and S is spermatids, wrong. So we have already got the answer when we went through back. So this is spermatozoa, the elongated one. Spermatids are the immature ones. Then the Q is going to be what? The secondary spermatozoa. Or the secondary, not secondary spermatozoa, secondary spermatocytes. And finally, P is what? The primary spermatocyte. It is going to be the primary spermatocyte. So primary, then secondary, they divide to form spermatids. Spermatids later differentiate to form what? Spermatozoa. Which is why the answer for this question is going to be this. P primary spermatocyte, correct. Q secondary spermatocyte, correct. R spermatids, correct. And finally S spermatozoa, that is also correct. Done. Deal? Getting it? It's the best if at all you go backwards and solve it. It helps. Cool? Okay. Now let's go ahead with the next question that is there. Match the months listed in column 1 with organogenesis of fetus in column 2. Okay, match the months listed in column 1 with organogenesis of fetus in column 2. That means formation of fetus in the column 2. First month, second month, fifth month and sixth month. Always understand the first month is the most easiest one. Okay, when someone passes down, what is the first thing that we check? Whether the pulse is there, whether some heartbeat is there, things like that, right? So similarly, when someone is being born, the first thing that we check for understanding whether they are alive or not is the heart. Why the heart? Because by the end of the first month, the heart is being formed. Okay, the first month goes with heart. Can I try to find my answer with the help of this? A goes with 3. A goes with 3. I have two options. Okay, can I cancel out the other options? Yes, ma'am, you can. Fine. Now, this is a rule that I have for myself. Whenever I match the following question, I try to do one thing. I match A and B first. Then only I go ahead with anything else. It becomes easy for me. Only if the options over here is different. It's different. One is saying D goes with 1, other says D goes with 2. Let's check it out. D goes with 1, 6 month. Separation of eyelids. Okay. We have studied that in the last month, according to your NCERT, not the 9th month. So until 6 months, things are given. Is a 6th month where the separation of eyelids happen. The hair is being formed throughout the body. Okay, eyelashes are being formed. All this happens in the 6th month. So yes, this could be correct. Let's see the second one. Hairs on the head. Hair on the head is generally in the 5th month, not in the 6th month. Hair in the head is generally in the head is generally in the 5th month, not in the 6th month, which is why the answer for this question is going to be A. It is going to be A. Got it? Let's see. Second month. So first month you have heart. What happens in second month? Second month you will be having limbs and you will be having digits. You will be having limbs and you will be having digits. That is the second month. So I'll just write limbs and digits. The next one is 5th month. What happens in 5th month? 5th month, Baba. Okay, so third month what happens? Let's discuss one by one. First month heart, second month limbs and digits. The third month major of the organ and the organ system is going to be formed, and even the external genital organ, whether the male or the female, that is also going to be formed by the end of the third month. Okay, fourth month skip Madi, it's not there in your NCERT. 5th month directly, the baby says that, God, I want to move around, I want hair on my head, please give me that. So in the 5th month, you have the first movement. 5th month starts with F, first movement starts with F. Okay, remember like that. And apart from it, to show some style and all, it has hair on the head also. In the 6th month, that is the next month, God said that you wanted hair. No, have hair throughout your body. And your eyelashes will also be there. Your eyelids are also going to get separated. That's the whole thing that happens. Okay, by the 6th month, what do you get, Baba? 6th month, hair on the, 5th month, you will be having hair on the head. Which is why the answer for this question is definitely going to be A. Understanding, not understanding. Any doubt that you want to ask me right now, you can do so. Any doubt that you have? Okay, then let's go ahead with the next question. When the fallopian tube is blocked at the ampullary region, the ovum fails to move from where to where? If this is the, what do you say? If this is the fallopian tube, or what do you call as the oviduct, if this is blocked in the ampullary region, so let's go ahead. First part that we have over here is going to be infundibulum. It has finger-like projections. What do you call it? You call this as fimbriae. Okay. Then you have a broader region. What do you call this as? Ampulla. And finally, you have something like this that is known as isthmus. Cool? Cool, ma'am. Done. Now let's go ahead. The question is, if the fallopian tube is blocked at ampullary region, if there is a block up over here, what is going to happen? The ovum fails to move from where to where. So this ovary is going to give the ovum. The ovum is right over here. The ovum will not be able to move from infundibulum to the isthmus, right? It moves in this direction. So it is not going to move from infundibulum to isthmus. Is that an option? Yes, A option is that, and that is the answer. Let's see why the other options are wrong. Isthmus to infundibulum, can it go backwards? No, Baba. Ovary to ampulla. Ovary is right over here to ampulla. In between ovary and ampulla, there is no block. At ampulla, there is block. Obviously, that is not the answer. Isthmus to uterus. Isthmus is here. Uterus is the next part. If there is block before that, then that's not an issue for them, right? So, obviously, no. So, the answer for this question is going to be just A. It is going to be just A, infundibulum to the isthmus. Got it? Any doubt, any one of you having, ask me. Okay, let's go then. Question number 17. Identify the cells represented as P, Q, R and S in the schematic representation of oogenesis shown below and choose the correct option. Okay, identify the cells represented as PQRS in the schematic representation of oogenesis shown below and choose the correct option. So here there's P, there is Q, there is R, and there is S. Again, if at all we go backwards, it will be the easiest thing to do for us. If you go backwards, what is S? At the end of oogenesis, what do you get, Baba? Ovum. You get the ovum. So D is ovum. Where do you have that? D is ovum. You have just two options like that. Sorry, D knee. S is ovum. S is ovum. S is ovum. S is ovum. So can I cancel these options? Yes, I can. With this, can I try to find the answer? Let me try. So the first one which is there, from where everything begins, that is going to be what? It is known as oogonia. It is known as oogonia, the mother of the germ cells. The oogonia is later going to divide and do everything. So the first one that we have would be oogonia. Do we have oogonia over here? Yes. But here we have ovum. Are we wrong? Ovum, we are ending with ovum, not starting with ovum. So this one also ends up, we just have this option. There is oogonia, Baba. Oogonia differentiates. Differentiates means they are not dividing. Basically, yeah, they divide first, but then later they differentiate. They say that, okay, finally I know that I have to become a ovum later on. So it transforms into or differentiates into what? The primary oocyte. This primary oocyte undergoes meiosis. It's unequal meiotic division. It results in one small polar body, and the next one is going to be a big cell, which is known as the secondary oocyte. Again, the secondary oocyte divides unequally, meiosis only, second polar body, and you have got the ovum. This is how things are going to work. So the answer for this question is going to be A for this. It is going to be A for this. Cool. Cool, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Let's go then. The next question that we have is, guys, understanding, do you have a doubt? Ask me, please. Okay, the next question. In the given diagram of human sperm, identify the functions of the labeled part A, B, and C. In the given diagram of human sperm, identify the functions of the labeled part A, B, and C. So this is the A1, this is the B1, and this is C1. The C1 is the most easy one. C1 is what? The tail. And what's the use of the tail? Tail helps in motility of the sperm. It helps in motility of the sperm. So let's see. C provides energy. This is C, right? C has to be tail. C helps in movement of the sperm. So here I have got one option, so I'll keep it on hold. Any other? C provides energy. C, can it provide energy? Tail, can it provide energy for the movement of its own self? No. Energy is provided by mitochondria. So this is wrong. Here say C helps in penetration of the sperm. Or no. Only this one. So C is going to be tail, which helps in the movement of the sperm. Let's go backward. What is B doing? What is B first of all? B is going to be the middle piece. What does it do? It has lots of mitochondria which helps in the movement of the sperm. So B provides energy for the movement of the sperm. What does the A thing do? A helps in penetration of the sperm into the ovum. A, which is there, it helps in penetrating of the sperm into the ovum. Why? Because A is filled with hydrolytic enzymes. A is filled with what? Hydrolytic enzymes. So many enzymes that can cleave through things. Got it? Yes. So the answer for this question is going to be B. Any doubt so far that you want to ask me, please ask. Next is, select the correct path of milk during breastfeeding. To this 2021 question, and a similar question we had solved. We had seen that the ducts opens into ampulla, right? So similarly over here, if at all you want to find the answer, as I say, always say, easiest way is dal fell on mant. M stands for mammary lobes. How many? 15 to 20. Lobes open into alveoli. Alveoli open into tubules. Tubules open into duct. Duct opens into ampulla. Ampulla open into lactiferous ducts. Lactiferous ducts. This is something that can help you guys. So lobes are there. The first one is going to be lobe. Do we have lobe? No. So the second thing that we have is alveoli. Okay, let's begin from this then. Alveoli, then mammary tubules, then mammary duct. Where is the ampulla? This is wrong. So we end up with this alveoli, then mammary tubules. Okay, done. Then duct, then ampulla, then lactiferous duct. Correct. So the answer for this question is going to be what? D. It is going to be D. So if you have small information on certain things, we can easily find the answer. Works? Okay, let's go ahead then with the next question that we have over here, and that is this. Under the influence of oxytocin, which layer of uterus exhibits strong contraction during parturition? So when oxytocin is being released, onto which particular layer of the uterus does it go and act? And does it say that, hey, you have to do contraction during the process of parturition, during the process of, expulsion of the baby outside the body? Under the influence of oxytocin, which layer of the uterus exhibits strong contraction during parturition? Is it the endometrium? Is it the myometrium? Is it the perimetrium? Is it both A and C? What do you think is the answer for this particular question? It's going to be the myometrium, because the one that undergoes contraction is the muscular layer, nothing else. So it has to be the myometrium, because this is the only muscular layer that is up there. So the answer for this question is going to be myometrium. So under the influence of oxytocin, which layer of uterus exhibits strong contraction? Myometrium. Cool? It undergoes contraction, relaxation. That's how the baby is going to be pushed. Okay. The testes are situated outside the abdominal cavity in the scrotum. By the way, did you understand it? Do you have doubt? Children, I'm asking literally after every question, because I really want to know. You guys are not talking, but I really want to know. The testes are situated outside the abdominal cavity in the scrotum, as it helps to do what? Helps to maintain the low temperature, store the sperm, regulate the hormone secretion, or release the sperm. Why do you think the testis is outside the abdominal cavity? Come on. Why is the testis outside the abdominal cavity? Because of one very important reason, that the temperature has to be maintained, and how much? 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal body temperature. Over here, if at all we see, what are the options? Maintain the low temperature. Why do you need to maintain the low temperature? For the formation of sperm to happen. Is that given as an option? Store sperm is there, not for storing sperm. We have to do the formation of sperm in that temperature. That is why we require it. Regulate hormone secretion, release the sperm. No. The only answer for this question would be maintain the low temperature. Why? For the process of formation of sperm. If at all the option was formation of sperm, it could have made sense. But that is not there. In that case, we can go with the first option, that is to maintain the low temperature. So A is going to be the answer for this particular question. Clear? Clear with this? Okay. Let's go ahead with the next question then. Identify the odd one out from the following. Infundibulum, fimbriae, isthmus and labia minora. Which one is going to be the odd one out? Infundibulum, fimbriae, isthmus or labia minora. So infundibulum is the part of the oviduct, the first part. Fimbriae is the finger-like projection of the infundibulum, again a part of the oviduct. Isthmus is the last part of the oviduct. Infundibulum, ampulla, then you have isthmus. These three things form the oviduct actually. Labia minora is the odd one out. Why? Because it's not a duct. We're talking about duct over here. But when it comes to labia minora, what is it, Baba? It is basically a fleshy fold of skin, which is where? Which is going to be a part of the female external genital organ. It's not a part of the oviduct at all. So which is why this one is going to be odd one out. So over here in the external genitalia, this portion that you have, the fleshy fold of skin that you have around over here, this is what? The labia minora. It's what? It's the external genital organ. It's a part of the external genital organ. That is why it's the odd one out. Cool? Understood? Any doubts that you have? Any doubt which is there? Cool then. Let's go with the next question. In which month of gestation the first movement of fetus and appearance of hair on its head is observed? I told you, first month, or first movement, F, and the 5th month. 5th month is where the first movement is being observed, and not only just that, there will be appearance of hair on the head as well. So Mahantesh is there. Hello Mahantesh. So the answer for this question, yes, is going to be A, and that is going to be the 5th month. It is going to be the 5th month where you will see the first movement movement of the fetus and the hair. Perfect. Cool. That's the spirit. That's what I was wanting all this while. Okay. Anyways, next question. Which of the following hormone is not secreted by the human placenta? Which one of them is not secreted by the human placenta? Is it progesterone? Is it SCG? Is it FSH? Or is it relaxin? Which hormone is not secreted by the human placenta? Any idea? It's a tricky question. Mahantesh says D is the answer. That's why I said it's tricky. Think once more. I do get it that from where it is coming, and I cannot disagree with you, but there is one more thing. Can you try once more? Progesterone is the same thing. Basically, yes, it is released by the placenta. HCG also released by the placenta. FSH, which is there, follicle stimulating hormone, this is not secreted by anything in our body apart from one thing that is known as pituitary gland. Pituitary gland. No one else can release FSH or LH. The gonadotropins FSH and LH are released by only the pituitary gland. And which part of the pituitary gland? The anterior part of the pituitary gland. When it comes to relaxin, I know in our NCERT what is written. In our NCERT it has been written that relaxin is released by the ovary during the later phase of pregnancy. That's why I said I cannot disagree with you. But please do note, okay, they have given the question thinking that the children will know, but it's like that. The relaxin initially is released by placenta as well. It is released by placenta as well. It's not given in the NCERT because that is not broadly been discussed. Later on, yes, during the later phase of pregnancy, ovary does that job. Ovary releases it, but it does not mean that placenta does not do it. But I do get it. That's why I'm telling you. So this is, what do you say, technically according to your NCERT wrong, but yes, the answer for this question is going to be C. FSH, LH, neither of them are going to be released by anything else apart from the pituitary gland. Got it? So the answer is going to be C for this. If yes, if you got it, can you give me a thumbs up and you have understood the reason why so? You know, progesterone was released by ovary first and later on it was taken up by placenta. Placenta was releasing progesterone. You saw 4 hormones of the placenta was progesterone as well. Similarly, the jobs are being switched here and there. So yes. Cool. Thank you for giving me the thumbs up. Question number 25th. Consider the following statements with references to the female reproductive system. Okay. The first is that the presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity or sexual experience. The presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator. That means even if hymen is present or the hymen is stored, it cannot determine that a person is virgin or not. That is a statement number 1. Statement number 2 says, the sex of the fetus is determined by the father and not by the mother. So here you have options. Both the statement 1 and 2 are correct. Statement number 1 is wrong and statement number 2 is correct. C says both the statement 1 and statement 2 are wrong. D says statement 1 is correct and the statement 2 is wrong. What do you think is the answer for this particular question? What do you think is the answer for this particular question? Think and tell me. What is hymen first of all? Hymen is the partially covering membrane that we have in the vagina. Okay. Now in some females who are really good with sports or probably some physical activities out there, in them the hymen can be easily torn off if at all they are indulging in any physical activities like this, a normal day physical activity. So in that case, can you say that, hey, the hymen is torn and that's why she is not a virgin? No. So it was a usual belief long back, and even now in some places where education has not reached much, there the belief is that, okay, if there is no blood stain, okay, after the marriage on the bed sheet, that means that the hymen has already been torn before she had had a sexual intercourse before. Wrong, because it can be torn off several reasons. It is not a reliable indicator. Now since we know that, we should be aware of that, and we should not be concerned about anyone's virginity in that particular case, but either way. So this statement is going to be correct. Yes. So Bala Sahib says the answer is A. Yes, the answer is A. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Let's go with the next statement. The sex of the fetus is determined by the father and not by the mother. What do you mean by that? Listen to me carefully. The sperm which is there, okay, In the case of males, they have what? 2 chromosomes, X and Y chromosomes, a pair of them. Similar in the case of females, what do they have? They have a pair of X chromosome only. Now, when I say a gamete is being formed, they carry only half the number of chromosome. They cannot carry both the number of chromosome, they carry only half the number of it. So I can say some sperms are there which carries X chromosome, some sperms are there which carries Y chromosome. In this case, what happens? Every ovum which is there will carry only the same thing, that is X chromosome. Right? Here it can be X, here it can be Y, but here anyway it can be X only. There is no other option. Okay. In that case, suppose this sperm and this ovum comes and meets. It will be XX because this was carrying X, this is also X. XX means what? It is going to be a female. Cool. If this sperm carrying Y chromosome comes over here, and from here I get an egg carrying X, what happens? The child turns out to be a male. Now, who is responsible for it? Anyway, the lady who is there will only contribute the X chromosome. But here the man is there who is contributing X or Y chromosome. Right? So in that case, whatever the contribution is from this side will determine the sex of the child. So the sex of the fetus is determined by the father and not by the mother. This is actually a correct statement, but you should not be scrutinizing anyone for that. Okay, so Mahantesh also gave me the answer. Also gave me the answer. Thank you so much. But listen to me carefully, since you guys are my students, let me tell you, do not put a blame on any gender, because even the men do not know that whether the sperms are carrying X chromosome or Y chromosome. It's microscopic structure, right? And the reason why it was included in your NCERT is because, again, to spread awareness, because Baba, we do not know, but in a lot of the places where again education has not been reached, people think that a female is responsible for the gender of the child. If it's a female, if it's a girl child, it's a big problem. First of all, that should not be a big problem. Second thing, you should not be blaming anyone for that case. And if you are blaming, you should know the scientific reason that no females are not responsible for this. It's actually the sperms contributed by the males. But again, should you be blaming them? Do they select their sperms? No, definitely not. So we should ideally not be blaming anyone. But this is a general thing. So both statement 1 and 2 are correct. So I'll say A is the answer for this particular question. And by the way, this is the vagina there, and vagina would be having a small partially membrane covering that is known as hymen. Okay. Now, going ahead with the next question that we have, 26th question came in 2023, and I hope you guys understood the question, by the way. Okay, so next question, the male sex accessory ducts include what? The male sex accessory ducts include what? So accessory ducts as in the ones through which the sperm is going to be moving forward. What does it include? That's the question. Here are the options given right in front of you. You can give me the answer and just give me a quick second, okay? Just give me a quick second. Okay, so the answer for this question, Mahantesh says it is C. Bala Sahib also says it is C. So let's go. Is it C or not? Let's check it out. So there's a way to remember it. Okay, there's an easy way to remember it. I'll tell you. And that goes like this. Ravi visits every village. Ravi visits every village. R for rete testis, the first one. V for vasa efferentia. E for epididymis, and another V for vas deferens. Always understand, here there is vasa efferentia, and here basically there is vas deferens. So how do you remember it? Which V comes first? So vas deferens, take it to distance. D for distance. Okay, you can remember. So this one comes at the end. So in that case, what will be your answer? Rete testis, R. Ravi visits every village. Why not the others? Rete testis, then urethra is given wrong. Urethra comes at the end. Rete testis, vasa efferentia. Seminal vesicle is a gland, not a duct. Rete testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, and seminal vesicle, again it should be vas deferens. Right? So which is why the answer for this question is going to be C. And you guys are absolutely correct. Perfecto. Super, super, super happy. Okay, Shall we go ahead with the next question then? Okay, let's try this one, okay? With reference to human sperm, match the list 1 with list 2. Sorry, this is list 2. Here you have head, acrosome, middle piece and tail. Here you have what do they contain. So one option is basically filled with enzyme, contains mitochondria, sperm motility, contains haploid nucleus. First of all, I always say match A and 4 first, sorry, the first and the fourth one first. But if you feel any one is very easy to be spotted, please match them first. So example over here, I see sperm motility. Sperm motility, sperm movement is controlled by what, Baba? Tail. So 4 goes with R. 4 goes with R, and that's how I've got my answer. The answer is going to be what, Baba? It is going to be D. It is going to be D. Why? This tail is going to help with sperm motility. Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Okay, so Mahantesh also gave me the answer as D. Perfect. Head, which is there. Head has what? Head basically contains the haploid nucleus, or basically it can have acrosome. But for acrosome we have a separate point. So we'll say head goes with contains the haploid nucleus. Acrosome is what? Just in the head region itself you have the nucleus, and above it you have the acrosome. The acrosome is filled with enzymes. It is filled with enzymes, and these enzymes are going to be released, and it opens the, what do you say, the boundaries of the egg cell. So there are so many layers around the egg, not the egg, actually secondary side. You have corona radiata, you have zona pellucida. For getting through that you need some enzymes, and those enzymes are there in the acrosome. So I can say acrosome is filled with enzymes. Got it? Now we have middle piece. What does the middle piece do? It has a lot of mitochondria, and that's how we have got the answer. And Bala Sahib has also given me the answer as D. Perfecto. Okay, let's go ahead with the next question. If yes, can you give me a quick thumbs up? Sakib, if at all you could wait for some time, can you? Or probably put down your doubt over here. I'll answer it towards the end. Okay, you can watch this video towards the end part of it. You can just watch it. That will be better. Okay, you do not have to waste your time as well. Guys, I hope you have understood. Let's go ahead with the next question. And it goes like this. In the female reproductive system, a tiny finger-like structure which lies at the upper junction of two labia minora above the urethral opening is called what? So we have mons pubis, we have clitoris, we have vagina, and we have the hymen. So you have been saying if two labia minora is there, when both of them join, they form a sensitive structure like this. Tiny finger-like structure. What do you call this structure as? And it is right above the urethral opening. So this is the urethral opening through which the urine is going to pass through, right? And this is the vaginal opening through which basically the sexual copulation is going to happen. Just at the top of the urethral opening you have this. What do you call this structure as? Mons pubis, clitoris, vagina, or hymen? What do you think is the answer for this? Guys, come on. By the way, children, I have done the one shot on sexual reproduction in flowering plants. It's a detailed video. Watch it if you have not watched it. It's definitely something that could help you really, really well. Lakshmi Jankar says the answer for this question is C. Is it C? Is it C? So vaginal opening, I told it's here. Labia minora is right over here. Labia minora is this. The junction where both the labia minora is going to come together, it's form a structure. You have been asked about this particular structure. What is it? Any idea? It's known as clitoris. It's known as clitoris. Mahantesh says A. No, Baba. B is the answer. It is known as clitoris. Listen to me very, very carefully, okay? In the case of females, okay, if the case of females, they have external genitalia which is formed like this. So here at the top, you have something that is known as mons pubis, which is a fatty cushiony layer, and over here you would be having pubic hair. Okay, now if you go beyond, there is two fleshy fold of skin which you call as the labia majora. Within that you have another fold of skin which looks like this, and the point where both of them attaches, there is another structure being formed. By the way, this is known as labia minora. And here you have two openings. One is the vaginal opening through which reproduction is going to happen. The second one is going to be the urethral opening through which urine is going to pass through. Now this point where exactly the two labia minora joins together, this is going to form a structure that is known as clitoris. It is made up of erectile tissue, just like how you have, what do you say, penis in the case of males. Here also in the case of females there's an erectile tissue, and that is what clitoris. There's a sensitive structure that is made up of erectile tissue that helps in the copulation. Okay, that helps in the copulation process by basically giving the sexual desires in the case of females as well. Okay, so that portion is known as clitoris. In actuality, here is an animated picture over here. It looks like this. So the mons pubis is there at the top, that has not been mentioned. Here you have the labia majora. Inside that you have the labia minora. Okay, here is the vaginal opening. Here is the urethral opening. Now this point where both of them attaches, this is known as clitoris. It's known as clitoris. Cool? Understood? So answer for this question is going to be B. Guys, if you have understood, can you give me a thumbs up? Can you give me a thumbs up? Sakiba, I'll give you the answer for this at the end, okay? Yes, Bala Sahab, I've understood. Thank you so much for giving me the thumbs up. Now we are here with the next question that is there. From the following table, select the option that correctly characterizes various phases of the menstrual cycle. So over here you have all the things. Here you have the phases and you have to tell which one is correct. Now I'll tell you, I'll give you heads up. That is, there are few things that are being put in a wrong manner over here, but this is a KCET question that has come. Okay, so yes, whichever option seems very close to you, please give the answer like that. Okay, whichever option seems that it's the closest answer that I can get for this question, go for that. So menstrual phase, what do you mean by menstrual phase? During the menstrual phase you will find menses, right? The flow of blood, then the breakdown of endometrium is going to be there. So menses is there. Do you find regeneration of endometrium? No, Baba. Do you find the mature follicles out there? No, Baba. So I can just cut out these two options. Now I am left with these options. Okay, now in this, the follicular phase which is there is where what happens usually, the follicles develop. The next thing that happens is the endometrium is going to regenerate. Do you have any of these over here? No. Do you have developing corpus luteum over here? Obviously corpus luteum is not going to develop over here. They're going to develop in the luteal phase. So this one goes out. LH surge, does it happen over here? Not exactly, but at least towards the end of the follicular phase, yes, there is an LH surge that leads to ovulation. So I can still say that this could be correct. This could be somewhere correct, LH surge, which is why this option could be, again, as I said, somewhere closer to the answer. Luteal phase is what? Regeneration of endometrium. Again, luteal phase is where follicle maturation or regeneration happens. Listen, we can say regeneration actually starts within this particular phase, follicular phase itself. In the luteal phase, it becomes even more thick. But again, if you had to choose between both of them, you will say this is the one. So as I said, this is kind of a wrong thing. Okay, but still, if you had to choose between all of them, this would be the best one out of it. Okay, this would be the best one. Cool? Joanne, go ahead, please. So the answer for this question is going to be B. Guys, understood? Understood? Didn't understand? What's the status? And by the way, there is one more thing that I wanted to tell, and that is understood. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mahantesh. And here is one more thing that I wanted to tell to all of you guys. So this is a little congratulatory thing for all the toppers out there who were studied from the Diksha Vedantu. Over here we have all India rank 10, okay, in NEET examination that was bagged by Sathak. And there is Vishrut with rank 114, there is Hemant with rank 740, there is Murugeshwaram with rank 839, there is Avinash with 426, there is Ayush with 563, there is Sri Charan with 779, and all of them we wish to congratulate you. We are super proud of you, and we believe that next year probably we can come up with more rank holders, more amount of hard works as well. Yes, cool. So please be motivated by them and give your best. And yes, now we come back to the question over here. What is the question? Question number 30. Which of the following hormones is not secreted by human placenta? Progesterone, HCG, estrogen, or LH? Now this is an easy question. Which of the following hormone is not secreted by human placenta? Progesterone, HCG, estrogen, or LH? Sakiba giving you the answer right now because I think others can try by then. You have been allotted a second college in the first round. That means there is one more option at the top and you have went with choice 2. That is accept and upgrade, right? Yes. So in that case, suppose you do not get the first college, you do not have to do anything, you will automatically get the second college. And in the second college, you will get an option. Do you want to take it up or do you want to move out of the counseling process? So it's sorted. Okay? You do not have to go for anything else. Cool. Bala Sahib and Mahante says the answer for this question is going to be D. Exactly, you caught the game. So over here, progesterone or progesterone is released by human placenta, HCG again, estrogen again. Apart from it, you have HPL. But when you talk about LH or FSH is released by the pituitary gland, not by the placenta. Which is why the answer for this question is going to be what? It is going to be D. As these guys said, perfecto. Okay. Next, let's go ahead with the next question. In human females, the endometrium of the uterus consists of what? In human female, the endometrium of the uterus consists of what? Smooth muscles, glandular layer, adipose layer, cartilaginous layer. What do you think is the answer for this? In the human female, the endometrium... Mahante said A. Bala Sahib also said A. Yes, it consists of smooth muscles. Smooth muscles, huh? A, smooth muscles. Endometrium consists of smooth muscles. Guys, endometrium is what? The innermost layer. It's the glandular layer. It's where the embryo is going to come and attach. How can it be made up of smooth muscle? Muscular layer is myometrium. Always remember, M for myometrium, M for muscular layer. Perimetrium, outermost layer, what is it made up of? What is it made up of? Perimetrium, P for perimetrium and P for protection. Okay, so perimetrium for protection, myometrium for muscular layer, endometrium is the glandular layer, which is why the answer for this question is going to be what? B and O. In human females, the endometrium of the uterus consists of what? Glandular layer, Baba. Got it? Doubt? Bala Sahib and Mahantesh, dear, have you got it? Do you have doubt? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, next question. Oh, done. We are done with the questions. So children, there's a list of questions. So this is where the most questions have come. The female reproductive system, okay. 6 questions have come from there. Male reproductive system, 5 questions have come from there in the previous years throughout. The next one is spermatogenesis, 4 questions have come. Then we have 333. Gestation is where you have got questions, that is in which month what happens. Okay, menstruation, hormones which are there, from there you have got 3 questions. Again, placental hormones, you have got 3 questions, and I'm pretty sure you were able to see all of that over here. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of this. Okay, and by the way, if you are someone, and why is it right over here? Just a second. By the way, if you are someone who have not hit on the, join the WhatsApp channel yet, make sure you go and join it. Okay, I think 2 more questions are there. I'm so sorry. 2 more questions, okay. If 2 primary spermatocyte and 2 primary oocyte undergo meiosis simultaneously, what will be the ratio of spermatozoa and ova produced at the end of gametogenesis? So primary spermatocyte is there, it undergoes division, spermatogenesis. Here primary oocyte is there, it undergoes division, oogenesis. Okay, and they are undergoing meiosis simultaneously, parallelly. What is the ratio? How many spermatozoa do you get and how many ova do you get at the end of it? That is a question. Any idea? How many of you get what over here? So 2:1 is there, 4:1 is there, 6:2 is there, 1:2 is there. First you have to talk about spermatozoa, then you have to talk about ova. Mahante says B. Okay, do we have any other answers? Listen, when one primary spermatocyte undergoes division, it undergoes first meiosis giving secondary spermatocytes. It undergoes division, you get 4 cells at the end, you call them spermatids, later they transform into spermatozoa. So basically you get 4 cells at the end, 4 sperms. We can just technically think like that. When you talk about oocyte, primary oocyte is there, undergoes division but unequal division. First polar body and then the secondary oocyte. This secondary oocyte has only 1 cell. It undergoes division again unequal, you get only 1 ovum at the end. So the ratio is going to be what? 4:1. In that case, as you guys said, as Mahante said, the answer for this question is going to be 4:1. It's going to be 4:1. Got it? Important. Cool? Works? Shall I go ahead? Thumbs up please. Last question we'll solve. Okay, perfect. Baba Sahib, understood Baba? Now we have the last question, okay? Match the hormone with its site of production. Come on, let's do it. HCG and HPL, progesterone, androgens, relaxin is given over here. Ovary, placenta, corpus luteum and Leydig cell is given over here. Now we have to sort them. Again, as I said, it's easiest to find the first and the last one. Generally. So HCG and HPL, we know it's produced by the placenta. So A goes with 2, A goes with 2. I have this option and I just have that option. I have got my answer. Yes, Bala Sahib also understood. Perfect, dear. Okay, so for this question, A goes with placenta. Progesterone is produced with the help of either ovary or corpus luteum. Either ovary or corpus luteum. But for ovary, you have relaxin. So basically progesterone, I'll let it go with corpus luteum. Androgens, male sex hormones, they are produced by the Leydig cells, which is why, what is your answer for this question? A. A is going to be the answer for this question. A means A with 2, B with 3, C with 4 and D with 1. Got it? Clear? So in that way, we have solved all the questions. No, there is one more. What is it? It's playing with me. Okay, last question, I think. Choose the correct sequence of sperm transport during ejaculation. Come on, do this also. Then we'll end. Choose the correct sequence of sperm transport during the process of ejaculation. All the same colors. Guys, I'm waiting for your answer. And Sakiba, can you hold a same college 2 times in the first round as well as the second round to look for the first college? You want to look for an upgrade, that's what you mean. So in that case, in the second round, if at all you're not getting the first college, what you can do is take the admission, go with choice 1, take the admission out there, and then there's an option to come back, log in back and go for an upgradation. You can do that. And in the third round, if at all you get it, it's all cool, otherwise you have a backup option. But you have to clearly go ahead and take an admission with the college that you have got. Okay, in the next round. Even if it's the previous college, then have to take the admission, then only you can go for upgradation. Otherwise, you can cancel the seat. But in that case, you do not have a backup, right? So, yes. You're most welcome. Sakiba. Okay, so Vaishnavi says B is the answer. Bala Sahib says A is the answer. Who is correct? Let's check it out. So, we have studied one thing and very easily. Ravi visits every village. Radiotestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis and vas difference. What difference at the end? Because it takes the sperm to distance. Right? Okay. Now seminiferous tubules is there everywhere. So I can just go with this flow. R, V, E, V, and then this. My first answer itself is correct. Why not the other option? Let's see. Retitestis, then epididymis. Are we wrong? Vasa efferentia, then retitestis. Wrong. Retitestis, epididymis. Wrong. Only option that we have is this. The answer is going to be A. So Bala Sahib and Mahantesh, you're correct. And Vaishnavi, it's okay. Okay, just a small mistake, and probably we can correct it. We know it right now, and we know this particular formula also, which with it is going to be easy. Ravi visits every village. Remember like that. Cool. Works. Children, understood everything, right? And we have, I think, technically covered every question. What is this? How many questions are there? Sorry. If he will not kill me, there is one more question. Okay, even I thought that it's gonna end up there. I'm so sorry. First month of pregnancy, you have to select the mismatched way. This is actually the last one, I promise. First month of pregnancy, formation of heart. Second month of pregnancy, movement of fetus. Third month of pregnancy, formation of most of the major organ system. 6th month of pregnancy, eyelids separate, eyelashes are formed. You have to tell me which one is the wrong one. You have to tell me which one is the wrong one. So previous year BMC mechanical rank for 3 rounds was What is your rank right now, Sakiba? And you know what, we cannot predict the ranks right now since you only know. Okay, it has been bizarre this year. It is very, very difficult. So if I say something, it will be wrong. 27251. 27251. With the previous year trend, yes, obviously you should be getting it. Let's see. Let's see. Anyway, from the second round, NEET aspirants would be going for that, for the other things. So there are chances. Okay, so you can go ahead, as I said, with choice 1. You went with choice 2 right now. Wait for your results. If you get the same college, take the admission out there and then log in back and go for an upgradation. This is the rule that is there right now. If they change, I'll let you know. Okay, I'll make a video on it, definitely. Okay, so yes, cool. So Bala Sahib says it is B and Mahante says it is C. Bala Sahib says it is B and Mahante says it is C. Let me check it out. B over here and C over here. Are you checking over here, guys? You have to look for this. Here also it's the same only. Okay, anyways. So B says 2nd month of pregnancy, movement of fetus. This is wrong. Yes, exactly. 2nd month of pregnancy, Baba, you have limbs and digits. You cannot have movement of the fetus. Remember, the first movement of fetus, F. First movement, 5th month. Okay, first movement and hair on its head, 5th month. Always remember. So this is going to be wrong. 2nd month of pregnancy, movement of fetus, wrong. 2nd month of pregnancy, you have limbs and digits. Okay, 3rd month of pregnancy, formation of most of the major organ system. Cool. Works. 3rd month of pregnancy, you have formation of major organ system. That is actually correct. Okay, sorry. That is correct. This one is going to be wrong, which is why the answer for this question is going to be B. And you have the external genital organ also being formed by the end of 3rd month. So the answer for this question is going to be B, as I already discussed. Bala Sahib, dear, confusion is there, or have you understood it? So remember, I will give you a trick for this. 1st month of pregnancy, heart. Okay, 2nd month of pregnancy, limbs and digits by which you form the heart. And then 3rd month of pregnancy, major organ system and also the external genital organ. 4th month of pregnancy, skip Marty. 5th month of pregnancy, what is going to happen, Baba? So 5th, okay, Bala Sahib actually gave me the correct answer. Mahantesh gave me the wrong answer. Mahantesh, I hope it is clear to you. Okay, anyways, 5th month of pregnancy, the baby says, Ma'am, doctor, sorry, God, I want the movement, I want to move around, and I also want hair on my head to show some style and all. So that's why God grants it. 6th month, God says, you wanted hair? No, have hair all over your body, and basically your eyelashes will also be there, your eyelids are also going to get separated. So that happens in the 6th month. This is how it goes. Cool. So I think that's all for now. And Sakiba, I saw first round this year is 20K. It's a little risky, but anyway, you have already got a college. That's a good thing. So yes. Cannot predict anything. That's why I'm not going ahead and talking about it. But yeah, I hope you get the best. Okay guys, so that's all for today's lecture, and I hope you have understood what I have taught. By the way, in the channel, if at all you go, you will be able to see one very important thing, one short session on sexual reproduction in flowering plants. It's 3-hour 45 minutes video. Put in a lot of efforts for that. The reason being that I had made sure that you do not have to go anywhere else to cover anything related to your second PUC or your KCET. Everything is covered over there. Similarly, on this Friday, one short video for human reproduction will also be out. Make sure you go check it out. Cool. Anirudh, second round allotment. Baba, option entry has to begin first. So guys, then I will end this particular session. I hope it was helpful. Okay, can I say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Please take care of yourself. Have a very good day. And yes, bye. And do let us know, when are your FA1 starting? Mahantesh, dear, can you tell me when is the FA1 starting in your place? Sakiba, when will second round start? Max approach it. I think mostly by the end of this week, or probably by the starting of next week. Mostly, I'm not sure. August, okay, the date has not come yet. Okay, so in that case, I'll go. Please let us know your FA1 dates. Probably along with that, we can plan along for something for you guys and help you out. Yeah? So that's all. Bye-bye. Lots of love. Take care. From Jasmine Ma'am. First week or the second week. Okay, thank you. I look forward to it. Bye-bye.